She had 48 hours to stop a bioweapon from killing 6 million people, and the only man who knew where it was had just pressed a gun to her throat. "Give me one reason, Quan Jai," Juan said quietly, "why I shouldn't end this right now." Amara Osei didn't flinch. She'd been trained not to. 12 years with the African Union Intelligence Division had burned the flinch reflex out of her completely. What it hadn't burned out, what nothing had touched, was the part of her that noticed things she shouldn't. Like the fact that his hand was completely steady. Like the fact that a man who truly intended to pull the trigger never asked for a reason first. "Because," she said, just as quietly, "you already know I didn't plant it. The gun didn't move, neither did he. Quan Jai." One was not what the intelligence files had prepared her for. The files said Seoul's most feared crime lord. They said ruthless, untouchable architect of half. The city's shadow economy. They did not say the way he filled a room with silence. They did not say the particular quality of his stillness. Not the stillness of a man at rest, but of a man holding something enormous under absolute control. He was lean and cold-faced, with a sharp jaw and narrow dark eyes that missed nothing. His black suit was impeccable despite the fact that 20 minutes ago his penthouse had been a war zone. His jet black hair was swept back without a strand displaced. He looked at her the way a man looks at an equation he cannot yet solve. He lowered the gun. Not because he trusted her. She could see that clearly. He lowered it because he was interested, and interest in a man like this was more dangerous than the weapon. "Sit down," he said. "I'll stand." Something moved behind his eyes, not anger. Something closer to recognition. Amara Osei was 31 years old. Ghanaian born, with warm, deep ebony brown skin that the Seoul winter hadn't touched, high sharp cheek, bones, large dark brown eyes that processed everything simultaneously, and the particular posture of a woman who had learned very early that rooms full of powerful men would underestimate her, and had decided to let them right up until the moment it was useful to stop. Her natural hair was pulled back tightly from her face. She wore a fitted charcoal tactical jacket over dark trousers, both now torn at the sleeve from the explosion that had taken out half his east corridor 4 minutes ago. She hadn't caused that explosion. She'd been running from it. "The device," she said. "The Janssen strain, you know where it is." "I know a great many things." 6 million people, Mr. Kwan. Seoul, Accra, Lagos. The dispersal pattern reaches 3 continents in 72 hours. 48 of those are already gone. He walked to the window. Floor-to-ceiling glass, the entire Seoul skyline laid out below them like something he owned. Which, in several meaningful ways, he did. He stood with his hand clasped behind his back and looked at the city the way a man looks at something he is quietly preparing to lose. "Who sent you?" he said. "African Union Division 7. We've been tracking the Janssen strain for 8 months. It was synthesized in a joint lab. Korean and West African black market chemists. Your network facilitated the transaction. My network facilitates many transactions. This one has a body count attached to it that ends careers, ends governments." She paused. "Ends cities." He turned from the window, looked at her with those unreadable eyes. "And you think I care about that?" "I think," Amara said carefully, "that you care about Seoul. I think you've spent 20 years building something in this city, and you have no interest in watching it turn to ash." She held his gaze. "I think that is why you lowered the gun." The silence stretched long enough to become its own kind of pressure. "The men who sent you," he said finally, They know you are here. Number, why not? Because there is a leak inside Division 7. Someone tipped off the Yonsan cellars 40 minutes before my team moved on the lab. My partner is dead. I am the only one left who knows the full dispersal coordinates. She let that land. If I report in, I am next. Jaewon studied her. She let him. She had learned that powerful men needed to feel they were reading you in order to trust anything you said. The trick was deciding how much to actually reveal. You came to me alone, he said. Unarmed. I am not unarmed. His eyes moved to her jacket, back to her face. Another of those almost imperceptible shifts in expression. You came to the most dangerous man in Seoul alone, with a story about a bioweapon and a dead partner. And you expect me to believe you are not bait. I expect you to verify everything I've told you in the next 10 minutes using resources I don't have access to. Then I expect you to make a decision, she crossed her arms. I'll wait. He looked at her for a long moment. Then he turned and walked to his desk and made a single phone call in Korean, too fast and low for her to follow completely, though she caught enough. Coordinates. The lab address. A name she filed away. He hung up. Waited. His phone buzzed 30 seconds later. He read the screen without expression, then set it face down on the desk. Your partner's name was Daniel Asante, he said. Shot twice in the Mapo district 43 minutes ago. Division 7 has already classified it as a random street crime. He paused. You have a 4-hour window before they realize you are off-grid and start looking. Amara felt the grief try to surface. She pressed it back down. Later. She would feel it later when 6 million people weren't counting on her not feeling it now. Then we don't have time. There is no we. Mr. Kwan, the Yonsan strain passed through my network 8 months ago. I didn't know what it was. I do now. His jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. I've been trying to locate it for 6 weeks independently. He said it like the admission cost him something. Whoever synthesized it used my infrastructure and then burned the trail so that when this city dies, my name is the one left standing over the body. Amara went still. Someone is framing you, she said. Someone is framing both of us. He looked at her steadily, which means whoever is inside your Division 7 is connected to whoever is inside my organization. This is not a leak. It is a coordinated erasure, he paused. Of everyone who could stop this, the weight of that settled over the room like weather. Amara looked at this man, this cold, controlled, dangerous man who had pressed a gun to her throat 7 minutes ago, and understood with complete clarity that they were the only 2 people left who could stop what was coming. That the world had narrowed in the way the world sometimes does, to a room, a window, a city glittering below, and 2 people who had every reason to distrust each other and no time left to indulge it. I need access to your network, she said. I know, and you need my dispersal coordinates. I know that too. So, she held out her hand, not warmly, formally. The way you seal an agreement with someone you don't trust, but cannot afford to lose. 48 hours. We stop it together or we both go down with it. He looked at her outstretched hand for a moment that lasted slightly longer than it needed to. Then he took it. His grip was firm and brief, and he released her hand exactly when he should have. But in the half-second before he did, she felt it, the slight adjustment of his fingers, not tightening, just settling, as if her hand was something he was taking note of without meaning to. She filed that away too. Neither of them spoke about it. There is a car downstairs, he said, already moving. We have one lead, a chemist named Park who went underground 3 weeks ago. If he is still alive, he knows where the device is being held. Amara followed him toward the door. Mr. Kwan. He stopped, didn't turn. Thank you, she said. For lowering the gun, a pause. Don't thank me yet. He walked out. She followed one step behind, into the corridor, into whatever came next, into 48 hours that would either save the world or end it, and into the specific, inconvenient, entirely unwelcome awareness that the most dangerous man she had ever met had just become the only person she trusted. If this pulled you in from the first line, you are exactly who this story was made for. Drop a comment and tell us where in the world you are watching from. And if you want the part 2,